That was good with y'all, man. We're back with another one to talk about Blake because I, in way less games than normal, am almost at peak with solo queue. Okay. And before we get into it, because that's already some guys that's gonna be, oh, well, I already got peak, no big deal. Listen, brother, I don't care. Okay. I don't care. If peak isn't that big a deal to you on a mobile game, I completely understand that it shouldn't be. However, it's not something to go around and flex if it doesn't mean a whole lot to you. Okay. Now we do have a little giveaway. Okay. Shout out to my boy Heavenly Shields. He decided to throw up a Blake Griffin account for the channel. The account has, I believe he said Blake and Steph, both max talent. And then it has the little, the special cactus uniform and both party memberships on it. Okay. Way we're going to do this. All right. Y'all remember how we ran the last one? First off, before anything else, drop a comment thanking Heavenly Shields for the crazy donation. Okay. Cause that's some pretty insane little account to throw out there. Pretty nice for people. So y'all drop a comment and, shout out my boy. But look, the way we're going to do this, probably let it run like 2 weeks. Let it run like 2 weeks. Drop the comments. The only thing that I'm going to add as a prerequisite this time, because we had a lot of bots and stuff from it last time, and that just decreases everybody else's chance of actually getting anything. You got to have Discord. Okay? You got to have Discord. So if you don't have a Discord, just go make one real quick, because whoever wins, I will be reaching out and the account info will be sent on my Discord. Okay. So if you want to join the community, you don't have to. Link is in the description. But yeah, for this giveaway, have a Discord at least. And matter of fact, that's the way we're going to do it. Comment your Discord with your favorite NBA player. So if it's just NBA player, you won't be entered. You got to put your Discord name. I'm trying to make sure I say this enough so everybody knows and we can get it done right the first time, you feel me? Make sure you comment favorite NBA player and your Discord name. So I can make sure you're official and you're somebody that will actually be capable of getting the reward if you win. And then whoever wins it will do the same thing we did last time. Random name generator, spin the wheel, see who gets it. So one more time, shout out to my boy Heavenly Shields for donating the account to the channel. I appreciate it. Y'all should appreciate it. So like I said, get in the comments and thank your boy. But outside of that, back to the video. For me, I like to get better at games, right? And as you see, 458 matches, and I've made it to Legendary Star 2, highest 5-star, but I'm back down at 2-star right now. No other season, and I can show the last one directly where I made it to Legendary Star 5, 612 games, right? Extra 150 games to get to just where I'm at. So, this is how I've been doing it with Blake. The art of solo queue basically comes down to you being able to outperform whatever your teammates' mistakes might be. Okay? With Blake, and why I am a lot more successful with him solo queuing than I've been with anybody else that I've used. First off, I usually use guards. That's number one reason you can't affect the game as much as a guard. Okay? Arguably, you can with certain guards that can hit threes and stuff like that. But because RNG is in the game, and you can have games where you're just missing open shots, having a big man that's able to get boards, create extra possessions for you on top of playing defense, it just brings a lot to the table. You feel me? And the rank proves it. Like I said, anything that I say in here is backed up by the fact that it's using a big that has gotten me further without necessarily having to do as much or play as many games, right? Now, for me, the main keys are his putbacks, setting off-ball screens, playing help defense, and spacing the floor. I'm going to kind of break down each one and talk about which situations is useful and how exactly to do it. Starting off with his putbacks. This man has the ability to do basically what Wemby's ult does, giving him a guaranteed three, and then if he can dash afterward, if he's contested, you can do that on Blake. So this kind of ties in with the spacing too. It helps a lot because you can shoot threes on him, and then when you're shooting threes, if for whatever reason, let's say you happen to end up missing, you have the ability to get to the goal and potentially do a putback on it based on wherever the ball happens to bounce to. Very helpful for yourself when it comes to shooting. Very helpful for getting to those teammate misses, whether they're just shooting open and they're missing or they're shooting up contested shots. That dash that he can do towards the goal is really what makes it all possible. And being able to close that distance really, really fast, because people will not box you out seeing that you're really far away, or at least with how I play usually. I'm staying towards the 3-point line, like I said, spacing. So I'll be really far from the goal, use the dash to close the gap, and then the putback will help you get the rest of it done from there. Also helpful because you do it once to just get the board, so giving you a regular rebound, but with putback dunk priority, meaning you're likely going to get it over somebody else using a regular rebound that they just timed at the same time like you did. But you also have the option, if you double tap it, to do the putback, and then if you tap it 3 times, to pass out of it, which is something a lot of people don't expect and can sometimes open you up for a good potential open shot off the rebound, like immediately. Okay. So his putback is very important, very big to get the timing down on it. But the reason that I have it down, and I'm somebody that considers myself not the best person timing rebounds, I have it down fairly well now on him because of all the teammates missing that I've had to get putback dunks for. So once you get it down, very useful tool, one of the easiest ways to make sure you're consistently putting up points on the board for your team, even if they're not taking the best shots. Okay. Number 2, the off-ball screens. This is a very, very big deal because, again, we're trying to make the best environment for your teammates for you to still win regardless of how they play. Setting those off-ball screens is creating more open shots for your team, especially because the defense doesn't usually expect it. If somebody is, let's say your guard is ISOing, right? You got a Wemby in the corner, or I was just doing it with a Gasol a few games ago. The defenders are watching your guard and trying to be in position to play help defense if they potentially need to. So you setting that off-ball screen, not only do you put both defenders somewhat in a little panic because they're trying to figure out, do they both run out to the shooter? Which one of them is going to go with you now? How are they going to do it? On top of the other person having to get through the stun, depending on how far they are, is going to be a bucket most of the time. Especially once you start getting better at them, you learn how to position yourself in the right spot. Don't put yourself somewhere super obvious, just along the running path of where you know they would have to go to get to their man to contest you. You don't even always have to actually bump them. Just forcing them to have to go around you is enough to give the teammate enough time to get that shot off, right? So really big thing, something you have to practice and just know when to use in certain game situations, but there are going to be very few times where setting off-ball screens for your teammates wouldn't help out. Like if they're not maybe a spacing shooter or something like that, then yeah, it might not be as big a deal, right? On that same note of kind of focusing on teamwork, you want to get your help defense down, okay? Main thing with this is that a lot of people, especially when it comes to solo queue, when they're running guard, they're just going to run really heavy scoring guards that likely can get up a lot of threes. All right. Or they're going to run somebody that plays defense in anticipation that they're going to run into somebody that can shoot threes a lot. This is usually going to be something helpful for you because the way this goes is unless you're guarding somebody who's also 3-point capable, which as a Blake, it'll happen sometimes. You got guys running Wemby, got guys running Embiid, but a lot of what I'll see is the traditional bigs like Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, some of the guys that can't really go out and space the floor like that. Okay. Anytime you're in that situation, while it may sound crazy, 2 points is less than 3. All right. I'll give my guard a couple possessions to see if they can lock down the Klay Thompson or the Tyler Hero or whoever it may be that they're guarding. But if for whatever reason that person gets up a few threes after that, I'm playing help. And I'm going to go out there and try to help contest some of those shots and just rely on them passing it to my man and him getting the 2. Okay. Especially if I have a spacing team myself, because we're just going to make sure we get the threes up and they don't. And because I'm on Blake, that's possible because I can space, but we'll get to that in a second. Right? But assuming, yes, you're in a situation where you're not guarding somebody that can also space the floor, you playing that help defense, playing sides with one of your teammates to be able to stop some of those threes is going to be one of the main difference makers if the situation comes up and whether you win or lose that game when you run into those type of lineups. Okay. So it's always there. You're going to be fairly intimidating just being that power forward and knowing that you have a pretty good block range and things like that. It will stop a lot of people from even going into shots and just they'll interrupt the offense and try to make another situation work, which is fine. That's ideally what you want. You just want to stop them from getting up as many threes as you potentially can if you know that your guard, for whatever reason, is not able to stop it. Okay. And then lastly, we can talk about Blake spacing himself. If you're able to space the floor properly every game, that is also something that's going to be making the world easier for your teammates. Now, when you mix this with doing the off-ball screen situation, the way I will do this is usually run to my corner, let the guard ISO up top wherever they're at. Usually the other big or other person's going to be in the other corner. And I'll do like a back cut under the goal. As long as my guard isn't driving in, I'll do a back cut under the goal, run over there, set an off ball for that player, and then allow them to go moving freely and go the opposite of whichever way they go. Biggest thing is always just making sure you're not too close to anybody. There's 3 of y'all. You kind of want to make sure one person is always somewhat in the middle of the court, and then there's one person to the left and one person to the right. That's the easiest way to try to explain it. But you staying out there, especially being on Blake Griffin, is going to increase the amount of choices that your team is going to have on offense because especially it's going to go one of 2 ways. Either you're going to have a non-big on you and it's just going to mean that they can't help. Usually if it's not a big, it'll be a defender. And they won't be able to help as much because they're having to guard you unless they switch. Even in said situation, as long as your guard is good enough, they should be fine. And you just kind of stay in the corner and get ready for those threes. And it really helps that people don't expect Blake to be able to hit his threes, and he's not going to hit all of them. But if you're putting enough of them up on top of the knowledge that you can put them back yourself, you're going to get a lot of them off. And eventually, if the defender is smart, make them commit to you and open up things for your teammates for getting to the lane and stuff like that, right? If you're being guarded by big, even better, it's almost straight cooked for the other team. Because with you having that dash that you have, even if you don't end up getting the ball, if it just comes down to one of your teammates shooting it and the big man is guarding you out on the 3-point line, you using that dash to get you to the goal closer than he can get. Faster than he can get close. So in most of those situations, especially what you have in your putback, that's going to be a possession that's going to go y'all's way, one way or another, whether they make the shot or not. And then in the same way, it's going to open up the paint so that your people can go in and potentially have pass out options from layups and all that different stuff, right? He just affects the game in a lot of different ways. While it is super effective, like I said, we got people that are just absolute cheese in the game, like Jokic and Draymond with the bump tech, LeBron too, and stuff like that. So I'm not really going to sit here and listen to people calling him OP and all this different stuff, but he's fairly solid. He's really good all around. Especially, like I said, once you start keeping your teammates in mind and start doing some of those things, they can close the gap between the mistakes your teammates make and how badly they ruin your chances of you winning the game. Okay. So outside of that, I appreciate y'all watching this one, man. The Discord link, as usual, will be in the description for anybody that wants to get up to join that. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. Hit that post notification button so you will be notified when the next one drops, man. And I'll catch y'all boys on the next one.